Howdy, partner. How you doing? I'm doing all right. You, how you doing? I'll be. I tell you, got another family of Mexicans that moved in down the street from me. About 10, 12, 15 of them crammed into there in that little house. I don't even know how many kids they got. I'm telling you. You know what we need to do? What? We need to get rid of that black president of ours. We need to close them borders. We need to bring God back into the school. And we need to get rid of terrorism across the world. You ever thought about running for politics? Yes, I have indeed. You should do that. Well, listen, man, I got to get going here. I got to go tend to my crops. So you have a good day. And think about that idea. I'll do it. All right, have a good one. Hi. I am David Ford Johnson, Jr. I am American. And I was born in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And for those of you that don't know where Oklahoma City is, if you sort of take the United States of America and you basically right in the middle. I guess it's a little bit to the south and in the middle. But Texas, have you ever heard of Texas? Yes? Yeah. Okay, well, I'm just sort of right above Texas. So to give you sort of a little bit of an idea. And now listen, what I did just then, evidently that's a caricature of people from Oklahoma, but kind of only to a certain extent because it's, in a lot of senses, a little bit true as well. So I'm going to give you a couple of fun factoids about Oklahoma, the place from where I come, so you can have a little bit of a clear idea about Oklahoma. Like I said, Oklahoma is in the middle of the country. It's in the heart of what is called the Bible Belt. The Bible Belt is the most conservative place in the country, religiously and politically and culturally. According to the last census, according to the last U.S. Census, 74% of the population of Oklahoma is Protestant Christian. Politically speaking, Oklahoma is the only state in the United States of America that has voted Republican in every election, in every presidential election since it became a state. These are true facts. You can look them up on the internet. Fun. What do people do for fun in Oklahoma? Oklahoma City, place where I'm from, is a city of about 1.1 million people. So it's not a small city. It's a relatively good-sized city. And next to downtown Oklahoma City, there's a place called the Rodeo Club. What, you may ask, is the Rodeo Club? Let me tell you. It's a club where people go. It's a nightclub. You go dance and you drink. You do what you do in a club, except for the fact that the Rodeo Club is divided into two sections. On the left, you have the dance floor, and you have the bar, and you have where people, so there is a dance floor, and they dance, but, they do weird sort of Oklahoma hick dances. It's like real American country music with the thing. I don't have it. Evidently, I don't do it a whole lot, right? But, and so they play 2 or 3 songs on the dance floor, and people dance, and they drink, and then after about 3 or 4 songs, I don't know how many, they turn on the lights over there. And on the second part, they turn on the lights, and as indicated in the name, what is it? A rodeo. A live, actual rodeo with manure and dirt and horses and cowboy, like the whole thing. And so they do what you do in a rodeo, they do that. I think rodeos last 8 seconds, and so they do sort of a round of rodeos. And then they close down the lights on the rodeo and open back up the lights and the music on the dance floor, and people transition very smoothly from watching a rodeo, commenting the rodeo, and going back to... So, one more fun factoid from Oklahoma is that for every 4 people in the state of Oklahoma, there is 1 pickup truck. Like the F-150 pickup trucks. Yeah, one of those for every 4 people in the state. So Oklahoma is a place, like I said, where I was born and raised, and it was where I lived for the first 20 years of my life. Today, I live in Lebanon. I live in Beirut, here, and I do humanitarian work. I'm not a refugee or a refugee like Mo or an S or R or whatever. I don't have any initials. And I'm not a refugee because I wasn't forced to flee my country for political reasons or because of instability. I chose to leave the place where I come from. I chose to leave that place because on a lot of levels I'm in fundamental disagreement with the way that people think and the way that people believe and the way that people are. And even though it was my choice to leave there and still is my choice not to move back there, that process of losing, I guess, what you would call home, and of sort of not having a place that I yearn for, that I long to go back to, or that I desire for, that process has been a painful process for me, and still continues to be something that is difficult. Again, I'm not going to compare myself to a refugee because the two situations are very different. And I would like to say it could be a lot worse for me because I at least have my friends and my family that are still there in Oklahoma, and they still have me, and I love them, and they love me, even though I love them, and I accept them for who they are, and they love me, and they accept me for most of who I am, and there's some things that they would like to, sort of shove under the rug. But again, like I was saying, it could have been a lot worse if I didn't have them, because I at least have them, and they accept me for who I am, even if they may not necessarily agree with what I do or what I think. And I guess that's sort of what I wanted to say today. I have a sort of fantastic story like Mo or like a lot of the others. But I guess what I have found and what I live in my life is that acceptance doesn't equal agreement. And I feel like that's something pertinent to think about and to reflect on, especially as humanitarian workers, because as Aurélie said, I work with PUAMI here in Lebanon, and so I'm evidently a humanitarian worker, and I have my little cheat sheet here. Humanitarian, according to Oxford Dictionary, is concerned with or seeking to promote human welfare. And human welfare is the health, happiness, and fortunes of a group or individual. And what I can say for at least me is that people accepting me for who I am, that contributes enormously to my health and to my happiness. And so if I have sort of something to say to you today, I guess it would be to accept people for who they are, even if you may not necessarily agree with what they think or what they do or sort of the way in which they exist. Thank you.